Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery. Hey, 22 veterans a day in this country take their own lives. Vets, I love you. You have a place here. Don't fight this fight alone. I mention it every video. It means that much to me. We back the blue over here. We sport Leo. Scab, how in the world do you do that? Well, some we don't break the law. And finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. So today, we are going to review the Khhi Dbad Roughlander. Now, let me say this up front. The Khhi house in Nepal, I'm a huge fan of. Let me give you some specs on the knife and then I'll get in a little background of the knife. The blade length on it is 9¼ inches. It's 7 millimeters thick. It is 5160. The blade width is 2 inches. We're going to do some comparisons here so you can see they are micarta handle scales, and it's a 5-inch handle with a huge pommel. Now, I will say this up front. There's just a comparison against the Preacher, the Mission 4. We did that, and we're going to do the old War Bowie just to show you some size differences. Now, the Roughlander is a big, big knife. It really is. It's a beast of a knife. It really is. Its guard is welded on, and again, the pommel on the thing is huge, but it provides kind of the perfect balance, and the balance point's right around that guard. The blade material is 5160. I didn't sharpen it, strop it, nothing. This is exactly how it came to me from Dbad. Now, this never was supposed to be on the Khhi site, Khhi House's website. Donnie did it with a friend, just kind of messing around with it, and he loved it so much when the guy had one made and sent one to Dbad, and Dbad loved it so much he said, hey, we got to make this. I'm going to link Dbad's review and video of this in the description below. Check that out. You can get a little more details on it. Now, you see that finger choil there? That is a 1.5-finger choil. It's a large choil. It's very, very, very comfortable. This thing it's got a lot of bang to it, man. It's one of, everybody knows I love the Preacher. I've got 7 videos on the Preacher, but I'm going to tell you right now, there's just a connection to this Roughlander. Dbad kind of equated it a little bit to the Dbad camp knife or the OEF Defender. I haven't messed with either one of those. I plan to, but this knife right here, this Roughlander is a knife I plan on getting. It's very, very well balanced. It's hard to describe. It's very light, very fast, yet it's 7 millimeters thick. Now, it comes with an all-leather sheath that I love, very, very comfortable to carry. Now, for a big knife, and I mean, it's got some weight to it, but the way that it's balanced, it's very comfortable. There you see we're using the finger choil, choking up some. This blade came super sharp from Dbad. Now, this is one of my all-time favorite tests. It's very simple. It's very basic. You hold a log and you cut and you slice. You say, well, Scab, that don't make a lot of sense. Well, it does if you think about it in terms like this. A lot of times you see videos, people lock them in, or they use vices to hold them, or they put them up, hold them down, or whatever. They secure it and then they chop. I would love to do that, but here's the thing. If you're out in a situation where you need a knife, you're not going to take the time to secure everything. You gotta, if you come into, and we all love to do this, we love to talk about the old survival situation. Now, old Scab ain't gonna be in no survival unless I'm surviving at the Holiday Inn. But, if for some reason I had to, this is a knife I would carry. Now, I've hit 2,500 subscribers. To all of you who subscribe, to all of you who faithfully watch, to all of you who hit the like button, thank y'all, man. I appreciate it. Now, I said at 2,500 subscribers, I was going to do a camping trip. I'm going to do a camping trip. I'm going to do another video either today, I think it's Monday the 25th, October 25th, or tomorrow the 26th, just kind of a state of the channel address. And we'll talk about the giveaway at 2,500. We'll talk about the camping trip at 2,500. We'll talk about all those things on that video. Now, my point to it's this. This would be a knife I would love to carry with me on a trip. Right here, I wanted to spend some time in the woods. Now, we always, to my dear tree-hugging friends, I have to say this every time. We don't cut down pine trees. We don't cut down oaks. We just kind of focus on the hackberries, the old junk trees. This property, again, it's going to be cleared, leveled, and bulldozed for a subdivision, so we're going to have some fun while we can. But I want y'all to see something right here. We cut down that, and hackberry just goes from a bush to a junk tree, but here's the thing. We were out there. It does an amazing job with chopping. It does an amazing job with slicing. The other thing it does is it plays into a machete style. Now, is it a machete? No, it's 7 millimeters thick. It's only got a 9-inch blade. But the way that Donnie's balanced the knife, it is fast. All buoys are fighters. He and I talked about that some today. But here's the deal, and y'all know that's not a big, huge thing with me. Now, why do I mention it though? Because when I picked it up, I thought, I'd like, if a situation went south, again, we like to talk about those situations. This is a knife I would love to have on me. It's just comfortable in hand. It does what it does. I love 5160. There I am staring at the camera looking good as only I can look there. I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but that's part of the old Scabs video. Now, right here, as we go through some of this stuff, I did a little chopping. Like I said, there's some small hackberry trees out there, but I wanted to kind of clear a couple trails. We're close to Fort Scabtongaroga out there, so I just wanted to take some time and just see if I could just like clear a quick trail. How does it work? If I'm walking in the woods, can I use it? Absolutely. And what I mean by that in Florida is this. For those of you who aren't in Florida, it's about 80-something degrees today, I would say. We don't really have 4 seasons. We have summer and not summer. We'll get maybe a week, 2 weeks combined of cold weather. So undergrowth is always a problem. And again, using this, just showing you some control, chopping a point on this stake. Making a face. I don't know what the hell I was making a face at. There we go. Attaboy, Scabber. But I mention that because you got to have, if you go in the woods, you got to have some kind of blade with you that's multifunctional, multi-purpose. This knife I was able to clear a quick trail through there. No problems. It didn't have any problems with these old Florida vines. And there's a good look at the knife right there. Now, let me say this, Donnie, I got the stains off of it. It's all nice and looking and all that. But it's a good look at the knife. Now, this is the same one that we cut down a while ago. Instead of being wasteful, we just dropped the camera a little lower, and we're going to do just some quick clearing and move on through it. Now, for the dinging in the background, that somehow I've got added to a damn group text, and that's everybody texting, so I apologize for that. Now, right here, another really good look at the blade. And again, same thing, we're still clearing the same trail. Went about 50 feet. I just wanted to go about 50 feet, clear out vines, clear out some briars, clear out some hackberries, clear out some weeds, things like that. Does this thing hold up? Absolutely it does. And then coming down to some chopping, you see 2-3 licks there, and it's gone, son. Ain't nothing to it. This is definitely a multi-purpose camp style knife. It really is. And again, it wasn't super heavy. I didn't get tired swinging it. It doesn't beat you up. It's just a really good feel. And those micarta scales, listen, son, if you're in Florida in the woods, unless we don't get cold, like I said, we don't get cold it don't get cold and stay cold. We get cold in waves and in fronts. So unless the damn front's coming through, you go in the woods, you're going to sweat. Now, moccasins do get a little slower, that kind of thing, but you still want to be on the lookout. So right here, like I said, we just kind of cleared a trail. I use that stick too to hit around them palmettos you see there, just to make sure, Mr. Pygmy Rattler, Mr. Moccasin knows I'm coming. Now, I about killed myself 3 or 4 times cutting stuff down, and it falling at me, but my cat-like reflexes, I was able to move quickly and move on through. So right here, I wanted to talk about a couple things about being in the woods, because this is going to lead into kind of the next section. Right here, we're going to go from chopping a lot of light brush, just brush chopping, and this thing, I was really impressed with how it did it, how it got it done. That's maybe an inch and a half max hackberry tree. I tried to, if I cut one down, I try to just use it up, process it up for the video. And again, the vines getting in there. Now, Florida woods will beat you to death, son. If it's not the vines or the briars or something like that, it just will. The thing that I liked about this knife is at no time did it slide. There were no hot spots on the handle. It's a 5-inch handle. So there is plenty of room. You can choke up, you can back off of it to chop. Great edge, 5160. I love carbon steel. Khhi House, one thing that I've found, and I've done 8 or 9 of their knives now, one thing that I've found that really impresses me about them is their damn heat treat. Now here's just another little hackberry thing there we're going to take out of the way. But their heat treat, for all, now, will small brush, things like that, really aren't going to beat the edge up, or should not. That should be a given. But we're going to get into some little heavier chopping here in a minute, a little bit of batoning. There were no edge damage, no rolls, no dings, nothing like that. And here's just a shot, guys. There's the trail that I cleared. I will come back with a machete one day this week. Got a lot of knives, but I wanted to bring machete back and we'll clean all that up. Now, here is the John Peter stab test, where we cut a sidewall, a tire up, using the sidewalls just for some stabs. This is one of the best stabbing knives I've tested. No hot spot. I missed the shit out of it right there. No hot spots in the handle. Look at the penetration, probably through 2-3 pieces of sidewall all the way through. Again, while it does feel pretty light, that's in the balance. Khhi House, Dbad did a masterful job on the balance of this knife. Again, straight through there, and y'all can't expect much on those scabs. Cinematographic genius, but I did what I can. Now, here's an old beat up remnants of a fence post. So, and admittedly, it's a little dry, but one of the other reasons I like chopping these is not just to show you, oh, it can chop. Oh, look at here, it can chop. This thing's a beast of a knife that can chop, yes, but I like doing this too to test the edge. Now, there are no rolls. There are no chips. There is no damage. And again, I swing as hard as I can. I really do. Not trying to damage the edge, not trying to break the knife. If I didn't have confidence in the Khhi House, if I didn't have faith in a Dbad design, 1, I wouldn't test it. 2, I wouldn't just go ham on it. I would say that up front. I don't really trust the knife. With this, 100% trust. I promise you I'm hitting this thing as hard as my little T-Rex arms will swing. Why? I have faith in the knife. I have faith in the knife designer. I have faith in the heat treat, the whole 9 yards, and myself. I believe in myself. Nobody else does, but old Scabber does. Now, and y'all can see there's a big knot in this thing. There's several knots in this thing. So it had no problems getting through there. Let's see some good swings, some downward swings. Came down very easy again. No hot spots. I cannot stress that enough. That's why I try to push people towards KHHI or a Dbad design. He takes care of the handles, which in turn takes care of your hands. 5-inch handle, micarta. I'm obviously out there sweating, been out there for a couple hours. No slippage, nothing. Perfect knife. Now, we got about 1.5 minutes left. You see the deep fullers there. I just like the aesthetics of this knife as well. It's just a good looking knife. I mean, it really is. Now here's some of that old petrified firewood from Home Depot. We believe in selling some hard firewood. It made a bunch of curlicues. If I'd have had any common sense, I would have done it on the other side, but there again, what can you expect? Knife performed very well. I tried to move it up and down the blade. I like doing that when we're doing, feather sticking or curly cues or whatever, to show every inch of the blade is sharp, is undamaged, is rocking, rearing to go, and no problems. Now, here in a second, we're going to cut some water hose in half. Here's the thing about cutting water hose. Yeah, I had to tug it a little bit, but here's the thing. That is a huge knife to try to cut water hose with. Worked perfectly. Well, guys, listen. My guy Mikey, whom I absolutely love, says it best. He says, Scab, never give up, never surrender, and everything will be okay. And Mikey's true. I love that dude. Mikey at Cerebral Ballsy. So, having said that, this is the Dbad Roughlander from KHHI. Now, to my understanding, it's not on the website yet, but if you want one of these, you get a hold of Dbad. He will hook you up with the artwork that you send to the Khhi house, and they will take care of it for you. Well, listen, guys, have an awesome one. I love y'all. God knows I do. God bless y'all. I hope he does. I'm Scab. You're not, and I'm gone, son.